Good afternoon, my brothers and my sisters, and welcome to another Wednesday Wisdom Poetry. I am poet Sharaledon D. Brave, and it's so good to be before you this afternoon. I hope that your week has been great thus far. Mine has been good. I will tell you that the heat is doing what the heat does. All right, but let's go ahead and get started with the invocation. Again, glad to be here in the front of you. Invocation. I invoke the power of the Holy Presence to be present in my living and to forgive me when I have doubt or fear or any careless misgiving. I invoke the care of the one who knows my nature by my name, who holds me close and wipes my tears and shields me from crippling shame. I invoke the goodness of the giver who gives without regards. And if I think in lack of want, my mind my giver guards. I invoke the character of divine to show me how to be, to understand that who I am is greater than what others see. I invoke the passion of the lover of my soul. For is this passion in this moment, my being is completely whole. Again, good afternoon and welcome to Wednesday Wisdom Poetry. I think it's like four liners for you today and one longer piece. So let's go ahead and get started. I see Tony, my brother. Thank you so much for being with me. Pam, I see you there. Thank you so much. I appreciate you very much. I said when I first came on, the heat is doing what the heat does. And I had been out a little bit earlier, and I'll just go ahead and confess. And I parked the car at one place to walk down to a market to have a little bite for lunch, and did not think very much about the distance or the heat. And I will tell you, I am not feeling my very best right now, but we're not claiming that. What we're claiming is that I'm whole despite that. All right. So if I seem to be just a little bit off, I'm recovering, I'm recuperating, I'm finding my space and my center again. Because sometimes I forget when they're talking about certain age groups might be at risk of this or that I am now in that age group. So bear with me, all right? So like I said, I've got four liners and a longer piece I'd like to share with you today. My sister, I see you with me, Van Andrea, and Deshad, my cousin. Thank you so much for sharing this time with me. I want to make sure I got everybody up to this point, and I do. All right, the first piece is called Reclamation. Reclamation. Avoid the presence of guilt, stigma, or shame. You must move past all of these if it's your joy you hope to reclaim. Again, avoid the presence of guilt, stigma, or shame. You must move past all of these if it's joy you hope to reclaim. Reclamation. The next piece, I'm going to say a little bit about the next piece. It's entitled Just Not. I cannot be angry, bitter, or hot because he cannot give what he never got. Again, I cannot be angry, bitter, or hot because he cannot give what he never got. On yesterday, I was listening to, it was 91.9. I do not, and I was supposed to write it down, remember the name of the show. It's like a Money's Matter show that's produced by a gentleman by the name of McDowell. It escapes me right now. But he had as a guest on yesterday a gentleman, some of you in South Carolina may recognize the name Craig Melvin, who is he's a newscaster, a journalist, and he's done spots also. He's with a major network now, but I also know that he's done spots on MNBC. I probably messed that up. Well, Craig has written a book, and the book's it deals with the relationships, and a lot of it dealt with the relationship he had with his father. And one of the things I walked away listening to this broadcast on yesterday was that was what Craig said at one point, that his expectation of his father, he realized that he had asked his father what was the most money he had loan at one time, and his dad set up like $1,200 or $1,500 burying his father back, I think, in the 90s. And that was his father's answer. And it was then that Craig realized that he had an expectation of his father to love him, being Craig, but he got to understand that his father just did not have those tools to do it because he never got it from his own father. So, one of the things I've used in the past to reconcile my relationship with my father was a book by Nathan McCall entitled "Make Me Want to Holler." Some of you may have read it, and a lot of times I do encourage, especially males, to read that book, and it helped to mend some things that I didn't even know needed mending with my relationship with my own father. So, with all that being said, I'd like to read it once more. Just not. I cannot be angry, bitter, or hot because he cannot give what he never got. That one's entitled Just Not. The next piece is entitled Recovery. And I've in my travel around the city, I've noticed some places, addiction recovery. And I praise people who have gone through that dark valley and who are in recovery. And something came to my mind, and I just want to say I'm proud of you. I encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. And so this piece is for you. Whether you're feeling whole or in an uphill recovery, I'm going to try that again. How's my reception? I had a little issue with the reception for just a second, so hopefully it is all good now. Let me try this again, recovery. Whether you're feeling whole or in an uphill recovery, my hope is that you will soon enjoy a lifetime of amazing discoveries. Again, whether you're feeling whole or in an uphill recovery, my hope is that you will soon enjoy a lifetime of amazing discoveries. So the last four-liner, thank you, Claude Everett, thank you so much. Claude replies or commented that just not is everything. Absolutely, thank you so much for that. And I want to admit that it's relieving for me also to be able to talk about that part of my relationship with family, especially parents, because one thing I thought that you can actually be healed of something, and what I've come to find out is that if you're fortunate, you're always healing, but you may not heal. But you recognize it. And Claude, I know you know all of this because you help people through these things. You get to a place that you face it, and that's what the larger poem is all about. So we'll get to that in just a moment. Sean, thank you so much for being with me. Airfare. When you're no longer afraid, you're no longer bound. You can take to the air and be freed from the ground. Again, when you're no longer afraid, you're no longer bound. You can take to the air and be freed from the ground. Now, that one really touched me, and I just felt it, goosebumps. And when I wrote this was the last piece I wrote. I was done writing for the day, and I was about to leave the house to go bike riding, and the thought, this poem, four-liner came to it started in my head, and I was like, look, I got everything I need for the day, you know? So I kept moving, and something said, sit down and work this out. Excuse me. And so I sat down, ready to put my shoes on, but it would not let me go. So I just went on, grabbed the computer, and just sat there with it for a moment. And it's a beautiful, universal, soul-feeling piece. And I'm going to read it again. Airfare. Airfare. When you're no longer afraid, You are no longer bound. You can take to the air and be freed from the ground. Airfare. All right. That's a nice piece. I love that. Expect to see it soon. The next piece is entitled, this is the longer piece, it's entitled Grow Through. Grow through. This burden you've carried, you must no longer. Since it didn't kill you, surely it has made you stronger. Stop pretending you're not hurting. You must address it head on. Until you face it and name it, it may leave, but it's never gone. Yes, you're slowly healing and getting better every day. But as soon as you start to fly, that burden gets in the way. It weighs you down, stunting your lift and your growth. You won't achieve what you desire without the exponential force of both. You have to let it go before it finally kills you. What a shame that would be. You almost made it through. Grow through. So my brothers and my sisters, grow through. It's your breakthrough. It's your time. It's your life. It's your ability. It's your strength. Look inside yourself, not outside of yourself, and make life happen. And so with that, I'm going to read my dwelling place, and I'm going to close very soon. I want just to remind you that please share this on your timeline for me. I would love that. I want to also let you know that this segment is brought to you by bravepenandpaper.com, which is the market side of what I do. There are beautiful ceramic coffee cups there. There's t-shirts such as I have on, which is one of my favorite sayings out of all 5 that's on there now. There's also other pieces, so please check out bravepenandpaper.com. Right after I am done here, I will be uploading this video onto YouTube so that you can share it if you choose to with others who may not be on Facebook. All right. Let's see. Before I go, I see some. Thank you. Grow through. I'm going to make this one very easy. I'm going to actually put the text where you can read it with the video after this. All right, because only because of your feedback, I'm seeing a need or a desire to do so. Wow, thank you so much. I'm not really distracted, you all. I am actually reading some of your comments, and I thank you all so much for your feedback, because this has been a trying time for a lot of people, and no less for me. And so having your feedback is really wonderful on these particular pieces, because I hope they're doing what Spirit has put through me to do and to touch someone. All right. So my dwelling place. Father, you are my dwelling place, the sun rays upon my face, the wind against my back, the light between the cracks, the promise in times of storm that I'll never be left alone. The anointing upon my head, by grace and mercy I am led. You are my counselor, touching my eyelids with sleep. You are my very best friend, for my secrets you do keep. You are my way maker when mountains are all I see. You are the King of glory who sets my shackles free. When others try to trouble me as I continue to run this race, I shall keep on keeping on, for you are my dwelling place. So with that, my brothers and sisters, I love you. There's nothing that you can do about it. You can try, but Spirit will not give you enough power in this universe that you cannot give and receive the love that I have for you. So until next week, I love you. Stay safe, stay you, stay great. Bye now.